all microphones are on, so if you scratch on your trousers, it's going to be loud. Hello. Hello to our workshop on data and AI. We are going to start, I guess every one of you prepared a short presentation, and I would like us to start by these short presentations. Is it important that we keep the? I guess you have Fritz as the first speaker. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then, you know me, and I would ask you to present yourself and then present your project. The first speaker I know quite good is Fritz Fahringer. He is the global pioneer in value-based engineering. Land Tirol and Data Hub Tirol, together with Fritz Fahringer, were the first who really applied value-based engineering. So Fritz, happy to welcome you here in Lienz.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Can I see the presentation also on this screen? Is it possible? Thank you. Then I don't have to stand up. Okay. My name is Fritz Fahringer. I'm from the Standortagentur Tirol, and we are building the first regional data spaces in Europe. And I want to talk shortly about it, how we push the way into a sustainable data economy. Do you have forward stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Next, very big button. Okay, why do we do that? We promote the development of value-based business models through our work, and we offer a secure and fair infrastructure, a technical infrastructure called Dataspaces, and we represent European values with that. European values are also universal values like sovereignty, clarity, trust, very important nowadays after January this year. And what you see here is, as a Tyrolean, if you go somewhere, you have to put some Tyrolean stuff on your slides because we are a tourism region. And this beautiful city is Innsbruck. It's called a long time illumination picture, very, very beautiful. And as I said, our goal is interconnected data, the thriving economy, and a sustainable future. But we have got some problems because most of the companies and organizations are not using data, as Sabine already said. You see on the left side a small part of the picture which is yellow. Those are the companies and organizations which are using data as they should. The other part of the pictures are representing the other organizations and companies and using some sort of data, but not as well as they should be, especially in business models and data-based decisions. So from our point of view, it's very important that you use your data, that you know your data, that you share your data, and that you know how to share your data for different purposes. But we have also the feeling, and a lot of organizations have it too, that are not able or they are very anxious how to use the data. And that should be the one picture I have put in there because of all those algorithms and AI stuff, what's going on right now. But we have to do it, yeah. And we did it in a small kind of project here in Lienz-AUSTRIA, with the mayor of the municipality of Amlach and Lienz. We put those ideas of data spaces right into the region and build a regional data space. They did it with sensor data, like temperatures and other data, and put it in the data space, or they will put it in a data space, and add some policies, and then they are able to share their own data in between the region, and their goal is to make a digital twin. That's the whole reason for it. And I can talk about the technical stuff for hours, but I won't. And I want to make my input about how we can make those data space alive all over the European regions, especially in the Alps region, because we have a very nice use case, and I think we can portable this use case to other regions as well, especially in the questions of tourism, mobility, and infrastructure use cases. Thank you.
Trustworthy data sharing. Having access to data that you don't have access to. And being able to rely on a trustworthy and moderated way of staying in control over my own data. And being able to participate in a data ecosystem that makes my AI even smarter and even more individualized. But you are the second one? Yeah. Who is the second? Who did you plan to be the second speaker in my workshop?
It's supposed to be me.
Okay.
It's supposed to be me.
Supposed to,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be you. So what is your topic? How can we integrate the data space idea into your world?
Okay, so I'm in charge of an AI study for Action Group 5. So actually I'm collecting a list of AI projects that are developed within the Alpine regions. And obviously, we know that AI is, as we already watched in the keynotes, is a transformative force in the Alpine environment. And in our study, we are focusing on tourism, sport, water management, and climate change. Because I think that in these areas, the Alpine region is very specific, while in the others, like public administration or public health, are less specific, but you can use AI solutions that are developed in other areas. And in the first studies, we have discovered that the adoption of AI in the Alpine region is in early stage. So we are not off-the-shelf solution, okay? And obviously, coming back to data, we can see that AI can be seen as a nucleus, and we have a lot of electrons that are flipping around the nucleus, and in Europe, these electrons are many acts that have been delivered by the European Union that are controlling, let's say, the usage of data, the use of application, the interoperability, the risks, and so on and so forth. And therefore, we have to be aware that we have to keep these electrons in a good state, because otherwise we are having a nuclear reaction, and everything will explode, okay? So I like to give this, view. So here we have a lot of consideration to take into account when we are developing AI solution. For example, GDPR, interoperability, in our case, cross-border, because we even have different regional rules, because this is an international area. And also we have to develop solutions that are sustainable. Talking about AI, we cannot dodge the word electricity, power consumption, okay, because it is overwhelming now. And we can maybe develop systems, but the usage of electricity is so high. And also ethical AI development, as we have already discovered before. So the region is very specific because of biodiversity, freshwater sources, so it's a fragile ecosystem, and so on and so forth. And it also has a very key economical and recreational area. And AI can supply to the climate change in a way that new technology can help, as we heard in the topic of snow altitude problem, and I will say it later. So the potential of AI in the Alps is built on the availability of big data, and in our case, data is fragmented. We have a lot of maybe small and large data, but that are spread throughout the regional Alps. So AI system should have the modality to access this data in a cooperative way. And now I'm going to use the real word, that is federated way. Okay, so federated learning, for example, that can activate new modalities of learning, and also cloud AI, meaning that AI solution should be put in the cloud, available to everybody. I cannot reinvent the wheel every time. So if you do something, I can reuse it. And we have to share this inside the Alpine region. And, this is the long one. Yes, I think it's the long, right? It's the long presentation, right? So I'm just skipping because it was too long, maybe. In the region, we have obviously data limitation, and also due to the specificity of the region, we also have technical skill gaps. So AI literacy is fundamental for this region, because when I go to deliver some AI solution, I always have to build an interface with the domain experts. So this cannot be done for everything. So people should already know how to use AI, or at least how AI is working, because otherwise the requests are impossible. We have to integrate with existing systems. We cannot think to build everything from scratch. So if something is already in place, we have to find out the way to use it. Okay. Best practice and what's needed. So in the study, we are collecting some of the best practices that are already in place. And all of these are promoting cross-regional collaboration. So integration of use cases, how to use something that was innovative and successful, and so on and so forth. And and then we have also the importance of ethical and, as I said, sustainable AI use. What we need in the future is AI literacies, as I said, enhanced data infrastructure, so and the way data is used, establish a robust governance, how to use this system, what to do with this system, and also have an interdisciplinary collaboration. So putting together, as we are here, different expertise, and find out a way to put all together and find out the solution. That's it.
Thank you very much. There were some great ideas on these slides. And I remember when we were talking about the Euregio AI strategy, so the Euregio, you know, Tirol, South Tirol, and Trentino, we were talking about building a digital twin. Because a digital twin of the Alps region would be the foundation for all of these use cases on both sides of the hill.
Yeah, it should be the starting step, because digital twin means to reply something that is already existing, right?
Yes, and you can run scenarios on it. Yeah, you can test quickly new ideas.
Yeah,
and you can leverage best practice sharing over the across regions. So
I agree.
Thank you very much. Great. I would like to continue with you.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Eleonora Tassanna. I'm a project manager at Trentino Digitale within the innovation and dissemination, technical dissemination area. I was bringing a use case scenario about artificial intelligence used for water management. So Trentino, Trentino is we are now developing a territorial information system for precision irrigation. And let's talk about the project. The project is an ongoing collaborative project that started in September 2023, and it involves key players in our regions that are the Autonomous Province of Trento, of course, Bruno Kessler Foundation, Edmund Mack Foundation, and Trentino Digitale, that I'm here. And we also collaborate with the stakeholder of the territory, because we have 3 pilot consortia representing major crops in our area, that are apple tree in Val di Non, vine in Val d'Adige, and olive tree in Alto Garda. So what was our starting point? The irrigation system in Trentino. We did have small size agricultural holdings with fragmented irrigation management system. We have over 200 irrigation consortia, and all of them are based their irrigation mainly on empirical experience, on a calendar-based irrigation using non-sensors or technological help whatsoever. So our goals were to reduce water use for irrigation, so to save water in this particular time of our world, and to optimize quality and productivity for our crop, promote sustainability, and support agronomic planning. So how are we planning to do it, and what we are doing right now? So we are using the IoT sensors in the fields. So our consortia have a sensor on their field that are transmitting data to IRI3 that acts like an hub. So it takes information, real-time data from the fields, such as soil moisture, irrigation flow, and also field weather data, because we have water station in the field. And it takes the information about the consortia into account, so its current irrigation system, where the valves are, the soil map, the crop status, and it also takes a weather forecast to provide information, because we gave them present condition, so the real state of their crops in that time. We also incorporate prediction with and recommendation with both an agronomic model and an artificial intelligence model. But how are we doing it? We firstly based a LoRaWAN IoT network on a provincial infrastructure that is public, and it can also be used not only for smart agriculture, but also for smart city, environmental monitoring, and a lot of other projects. And it is designed especially for IoT application, so it has low energy consumptions. And as Trentino Digitale, we are installing gateway LoRaWAN in toll halls, town halls, hospitals, tower, fire station, library, everywhere we can, basically, to provide a reliable provincial network that is public and accessible to all. And also we have the true recommendation model I was saying about, that our partners are responsible for. So the agronomic model is developed by the Edmund Mack Foundation, and it is a traditional physical model that is called SWAB, that means soil, water, advanced budget, and taking into account the phenology of the plant, the soil, the irrigation. It gives you an irrigation advice up to 3 days in the future. And then we have an AI model that is developed by the Bruno Kessler Foundation, and it's a it's data-driven AI algorithms that take real data from the tensiometer, so sensors, irrigation, and past climatic information to give you a soil moisture forecast for up to 5 days ahead. So to say the humidity of the soil in that time. And what are we doing now? Where are we? We are developing the public territorial information system that basically is a web platform that the consortia will use. And we are integrating the different technologies, so the two recommendation model and the LoRaWAN network using standard and interoperable protocols. And validation is currently ongoing into the 3 pilot sites that we have, but we are also expanding the testing to three new consortia to really have a grasp of what we are doing, and then we are setting up and fine-tuning, of course, the LoRaWAN network infrastructure across the territory. We have actually now 5 gateways, but planning to install 32 in the next 3 months. So it's an ongoing process, of course, and our ultimate goal is opening the platform to everyone to improve and enhance water efficiency. So irrigate when and how much is needed, and not based on empirical experience. Thank you.
Awesome, Eleonora. Thank you very much. Yes. 2 questions here.
Yeah.
First of all, where is the data? Where is the data stored now?
It's in the data center at Trentino Digitale, so we have that. Yeah.
And now, at the time, you're using a rule-based AI to make predictions.
Yes.
You have not yet implemented a GPT version where you can chat with the data or ask the data.
No,
what
we don't
it
have that
needs.
yet. No, it's just forecasting. Right now, the artificial intelligence is just says how the soil moisture is for the next 5 days. So it gives you an overview of the irrigation. So if the soil is humid or not.
So water management is a reference project for our region.
Yeah, also because our stakeholders are not yet ready to let AI have all the decision. So they want the advice, but they still want the power to make the decision. So we're not there yet. We are trying to.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay, you prepared the Dataspace case study? Do I have that right in mind?
I did the water management on
the water management,
the collaborative, trustworthy AI stuff. Yeah.
Do you want to continue?
Yes, I can continue. Yes.
Please. So thank you, Eleonora.
You're welcome.
Alexander Valentinic, it's the presentation. So I'm talking about sustainable water management with multi-stakeholder engagement. So my basic is collaborative, trustworthy AI. So what is actually the initial situation? So in the European regions, they are increasingly impacted by the climate change with more frequent and severe kind of droughts and floods causing kind of a significant water shortages and economic losses. So they are estimated about 9 billion euros annually. And in Austria alone, groundwater resources are projected to decline by 23% by 2050. So potentially affecting 471 municipalities. Water is actually it's an irreplaceable resource, essential for kind of for life, health, the agriculture, and also in the industry. So as climate change kind of accelerates, it's also impact and water system is becoming increasingly kind of severe, kind of demanding a sensible, a forward-looking kind of solution. So sustainable water management must be actually grounded in 4 kind of key principles. So that is economically efficient, socially equitable, and also ecological, and also kind of customer friendly. So what is actually the motivation? So the motivation is kind of ensuring kind of a stable and an efficient kind of drinking water supply is actually fundamental for the requirement for public health and also for the urban sustainability. So however, traditional kind of centralized water distribution systems are actually increasingly vulnerable to kind of climate change and to related disruption in resource inefficiency. So in the Transalpine region, kind of characterized kind of by its reliance kind of on this glacier and river-fed water systems, kind of face kind of unique challenges. And decentralized water grids kind of offer kind of a resilient and solution by enabling fixable and localized control access across the Alpine and kind of national regions. So to address this growing complexity of water distribution, there's a kind of a pressing need for kind of intelligent, collaborative, and kind of transparent systems. So we need kind of AI driven kind of predictive analytics can kind of help prevent the losses by and also kind of by detecting kind of inefficiencies and also kind of the failures before kind of they escalate, and also kind of a secure AI powered Dataspaces to foster kind of this cross regional collaboration while ensuring kind of this data privacy. And these digital twins enable kind of real-time kind of simulations kind of that support the towards smarter and more adaptive decision making. So we need to deploy kind of IoT infrastructure, what we already heard before, to feed the digital twin with kind of real-time data, in general demand, flow, temperature, conductivity, turbidity, by using kind of these data loggers and specifically through kind of this narrowband IoT kind of data can then be transmitted over kind of long distances to kind of secure to kind of a secure cloud with minimal energy, and then we make kind of a cost. And this makes actually the system kind of cost effective and reliable, and also allowing kind of a seamless integration from multiple data sources for such a transnational collaboration. And we need such a framework that allows kind of for collaborative learning and also kind of a distributed and private water system data is required while ensuring kind of this privacy, the robustness, the explainability, and also kind of the computational efficiency is also really important. So we need to kind of combine decentralized water grids, digital twins, and also data spaces, and also trustworthy collaborative AI. This trustworthy collaborative AI kind of works kind of alongside the human experts and in institutions, learning kind of from shared data and experience. And in water management, it enables kind of lead detection, kind of demand forecasting, and also real-time decision support while allowing human oversight. And this is actually our expertise kind of we gained in another project from the FFG, a lot of experience where we build up a collaborative, trustworthy AI framework. So, and these technologies kind of and these technologies like decentralized, they form kind of a backbone for kind of the next generation of smart water management system. So in our project, the aim was kind of to develop a trustworthy AI-driven and energy-efficient smart water system. So it kind of it advances the current state of the state of the art, creating a trustworthy AI framework across different kind of water systems, and these innovations kind of will enable kind of the development of kind of a secure and confidential water system and a new real-time data and new data analysis tool. So we actually what we did was kind of we used kind of the graph-based structure of the water management systems, and we use graph neural networks. But something is still missing. So how can we collaborate with each other? And there we already heard it before. We need kind of federated learning, kind of to. And this is actually our project, kind of we incorporated this part, kind of how can we collaborate with each other to be kind of secure, confidential, because the data is anyway distributed, and we have to build kind of the trust among these municipalities, and so that's why we incorporated kind of federated learning. It is a technology enabler. There's still other, what we already heard from you, kind of the ethics part and all this stuff is still ongoing, but this is a technical thing. How can we actually gain the trust of the municipalities, of all the companies, also companies working together? So these are kind of what are the pros of the collaborative learning? For example, for demand forecasting, it learns kind of from the regional differences. It better also forecasts the data scarce areas, and it's also adaptable to kind of to continually improving kind of. And also with leakage detection, because it's a rare event, and it also become learnable because they are so rare. And if you have a collaborative approach, we can learn from those data. And then there's also an improved anomaly recognition, and also fast, and there could also be a faster and smarter detection. For conclusion, our next steps kind of is the upcoming EU's Alp call to submit another project proposal which kind of integrates all those steps, kind of this water grid, digital twin, data spaces, and our expertise, kind of the trustworthy AI, to kind of build a resilient and efficient and also transparent water distribution management system across the Alps. So I'm eager of you guys, so helping me kind of we still need partners, and I'm happy to kind of talking in this session or afterwards that we can build a really nice project with our expertise, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander. Very interesting. Until now, everything, all the dots connect. You see that? Do you want to continue?
Yes, please, the Dataspace presentation. Thank you. While the presentation has been presented.
Did you know that clear water is the goal #1 of the Agenda 2030? Clear water. And as we saw in our we have European regions that cannot always rely on clear water. Some years ago, we thought this is a problem far away from Europe, and now we see that we need urgently a water management, because we have the regions where we have too much water, and the regions where we have the drynesses.
But anyway, this study is also involved a study on water, because this is the complementary study from AG2 to the one issued by AG5 on artificial intelligence. In this case, we are delving into Dataspaces and looking at Dataspaces that are supported at a European level as a new concrete way to promote a form of collaboration between public, private, and research organization. And as I was saying, we delved into two kinds of experiences on water management and on mass intended as manufacturing as a service. The study is mainly composed, and the study is, by the way, nearly done. We are just, let's say, putting up all the graphic and the logos, so in the upcoming days it will be shared with the AG2 and AG5 partners that will make it available. So how the study is composed? The study is composed mainly on 3 deliverables. The first one are the data strategization, valorization strategies. So it was to set up the tone, to look at what are the actual platform, the actual ecosystem, and how data are stored, how data are shared, in order to pave the way in order to, let's say, validate the need to invest and to research on data spaces. Then, and by the way, in the first deliverable, we also look at the two different experiences. One was on a digital twin, the other one completely different on a mass platform that are being currently developed in Turin. So two different ways to manage data and to search and discover business model and value on this data. The second deliverable, it's on Dataspaces. Dataspace is a really complex ensemble of terminology. The first key aspect that we realized working on Dataspaces was that there is not a really common definition, and there are many experiences on data space in many different sectors. There is a huge database that gather all those experiences at a European level, the Data Space Radar, where you can find many different projects and initiatives. But the key point is that those initiatives are not so similar. They have different building blocks. They have different, let's say, technical aspect that has been tackled. So it's a really complex. Let's say, technological environment and regulatory environment. And I will get back on that on the policy recommendation, because all the study has been done in order to define policy recommendation for use Alps. So what can be done for data space in our territory, and in particular on mass and water management. So, as I was saying...
I have one question. Could you go back one slide, please?
Yep.
So, when you were focusing on data spaces, did you focus on all the possible definitions on data spaces, or did you focus in the end on the EU data space architecture? Because this one is really clear. But everyone, I know everyone's talking about data spaces, and everyone has another imagination in his head.
Yeah, we at the list we use the Data Space Alliance definition, and setting up all the two different classes, the business side and the technical side, with the 6 columns. So on the business side, the value of the data, the regulatory aspect, the trust that has to be built on data spaces, and the technical aspect is how to assess data, how to valorize the data, and how to make the data interoperable between different organizations. I forgot to say that it was not just a desk analysis, this second deliverable. It was an analysis that was based on experiences in order to gather, let's say, real experiences of what is the actual and current state of the art, where are we, what are the technical issues, what are the let's say the condition to be that has to be available in order for the data space to evolve. As I was saying, and this is the analysis on data space, and from the interviews that we gather. We defined a set of policies. Obviously, the context is the Alpine space. It's a fragmented area with the prevalence of small and medium enterprises, with many small local public authorities. So we are in a very different context from where the data space are currently being defined. Where large organizations, large public authorities, research organizations are investing in defining and setting up let's say the layer needed for the development. So we have to look at those experiences. The professor was saying we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Definitely, we don't have to reinvent the wheel in the data space, let's say, sector. We have to look for the experiences and gather those technological discoveries, make them ours, and build on that experiences on those platforms with the social and economical context that we have in the Alpine arc. And we defined, let's say three set of policies, general set of policies that are always valid, and some specific for water and for mass that are really different, because are different type of actors that will be joining those, that has to join those type of activities. So for the general recommendation, we started with the where are we? And I was looking at your presentation. In one of the slides, you had the three photos of three backyards depicting how the data are currently in our organization. And that's one of the main problems that will be a main problem in order to develop Dataspace or develop a project initiative on AI. So we feel that the first step is to, in parallel, as the other develop the big platform on Dataspace, we have to help the digitalization of the Alpine arc in order to work on data, in order to work on skill, in order to work also on services, because it's not always giving the courses, free courses, and just not upskilling the problem, but the need is also for technical service that small organization or small local authorities could benefit in order to access complex, technologically complex systems. And in that way, there are already experiences. We have the Digital Innovation Hub. The keynote before your keynote was saying there are these opportunities. So in many cases, they are also free. So we have just to, let's say, define what is needed in order to build also trust, because there is a factor of trust in the water management, as you were saying, but it's even greater, the trust factor for the manufacturing activities. So the small and medium enterprises that has those data, they are their value. How can they trust sharing those value in the platform? That's one of the key elements that we will see in the upcoming slide for that sector. And so to close, the general recommendation is to look for others to develop the big platform and just leverage on that experience to look for our experience. And we will have different type of proposal for manufacturing and for water. For manufacturing, as I was saying, trust is the first key issues. Also working on the services that could be made available in the economic, let's say, help that the EUSALP could define. We have to work on trust and security. So the company participating in Dataspace could feel let's say, secure in sharing data. And we will also maybe look for other services that certify that those platforms are really secure in order to continuously give the sense of trust to those that are sharing those data. And in case of the manufacturing and services, what we need are experiences, are use cases. So we will have like not one big project, but many smaller initiatives, many smaller projects in order to gather experiences and also to share and communicate these experiences in order to let those companies, other companies, join the program. I know I'm running late. On the water sector, it's a bit different. On the water sector, there is no need for smaller experiences because we have to work on the local public authorities. We need to work on data. So we need to work on digitalization and also new sensor, new gathering evidences of all the data that are related to water. All the consideration about the transnational cooperation are valid in this case. And in this case, we foresee a lighthouse project really different from the first case. This is a lighthouse project where you have to pull on all the local public authorities that we will share a good amount of the same problems. And also for those, the big corporation, the big European public authorities that are defining, because the water is not one of the main sectors that has been defined as one of the sector to be worked on data space, because it's really transversal on different sectors. So in this case, a lighthouse project could be a really good initiative for the Alpine space. But anyway, sorry for running late. I was a bit passionate.
Until now, we have everything we need. We have a data space infrastructure built on value-based engineering principles, so that they are valid as a foundation for EU certifiable AI use cases. We agree on that we need a digital twin in the region, because this is the basis for millions and millions of other use cases. One of them being, for example, water management, which is a real lighthouse project from my point of view for our region. Because there we do not have to argue a lot about the benefits. Everyone can see the benefits out of it. And I'm sure that even we don't know now how much benefits a water management system based on data space infrastructures implemented into a bigger picture as a digital twin might be. Awesome. So Robin, you have the last word. So now you can pull out your crown and put it on it.
Yeah, I wanted to try it, like the best comes at the end, but like here it's like the youngest comes at the end. So I'm really happy that me from the Alps Youth Council, we have the possibility to be here and to participate in this conference and also in this workshop and also in the other workshop. So yeah, maybe like a short note about me. I'm Robin Manhorst. I'm from Germany. I'm studying in Tübingen, but at the moment I'm studying in Italy. So usually I'm studying north of the Alps, now south. So I'm in a way connected to the Alps. Yeah, so I really enjoy being in the Youth Council. And we also like really are happy that you can like participate in events, like invited, and really like to share our opinions and to be here. So yeah, maybe like a short information or notice what we are doing, who we are, and yeah, why we're here. So we are the Youth Council. We are like usually 28 seats. So 4 persons from every Alpine country. At the moment, we are like only 26 because from Liechtenstein there are only 2 persons. We're really happy that there are 2 persons because like it's a small country and it's every time very difficult to find persons or like for the mandate. And we are like all between 18 and 29 years. And from, not all the 48, but like from very much regions of the Alps. And we usually be there for 1 year, and we can like renew for one other year, so that we have like 2 years of mandate. And actually, at the moment, we are working in 4 thematic groups. We have one for economic development, one for mobility and connectivity, one for Alpine resources and culture, and the last one for education, soft skills, and digitalization. And yeah, so we're working there also together with the action groups from Alps. So it's like really depends a bit on the action group, but there's like really strong collaboration between our thematic groups and the action groups. So that's like also why we're really happy to be here and be invited and participate. Then what's the youth activities? There's the Interact Alpine Space Project, where like lots of the activities are like collaborated or like placed. And we like have usually 3 of our major formats. It's like the Picture Project, competition, which is like open for all the young people in the Alps between 16 and 29, and finalists every year with the annual forum. So last year it was in near Ljubljana in Brno at the annual forum. So it was really nice to see what the young people from all over the Alps were like, having ideas, participating, doing their thing. And also to see, because like now some weeks ago there was like in a big French newspaper the one finalist from some years ago. So it's really also like cool that like the projects continue, that like doing their ideas, participate, and like for the future in the Alps. And the second one is the Youth Council, which I'm a member and participating here. So we are 28 persons, aged 18 to 29 from all over the Alps. And then we have like also summer activities. It's like a summer camp, which is like also open for young people in the Alpine region, which is like also covered by funds. So it's not that it costs much. It's very accessible to Alpine youth, that we like come together and like experience the Alps together.
Go skiing or.
And here's like a short overview of all the other youth participation in the Alps outside of Youth Alp. There's like also the Cipra Youth Council, which we're like working a bit together with Line, and we also had like which we had very happy meeting in Salzburg some weeks ago, where we were together, the two youth councils. So it's like really cool. There's also the Alpine convention where we like working together, which the YPEG which was like some weeks ago also. So. And interact. So it's really cool that there are lots of possibilities for young people in the Alpine space. And we hope that we can continue the work together with all of you. So yeah, it's really cool to be here and to participate and bring our young ideas into that spaces like here. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So now, Robin, what is the main idea that you, as an ambassador of the European youth, are going to bring to us? What is your biggest demand for, at least me, old people? Yeah. And what are you willing to participate to realize it?
I guess for like the young perspective, also for like my university as perspective, it's like really like the way, what skills do we need to develop, or what skills do we also like, maybe like we as a young generation already have, because we grew up with the social media, with all the smartphones and stuff. Like it's not that we needed to learn it, like we learned it time by time when we grew up. So maybe like there's also like some skills we already developed through our education or through our growing up. So like these skills that we have developed or I need to develop, how we can bring them in, or which skills do we need to like participate in the future? Because like when I think about myself, like I'm young. There's like a lot before me. There's like the future. So like what do I need to bring for the future to like have a good life in the Alps, to like bring it, sum it a bit up? Yeah. So that's like a question for me from the youth, for like to you older people, to say it like that. Yeah. So how can we participate?
Skill number one to all the young people in here. Yeah. Learn how to speak AI. So I would like to ask our virtual audience if you have any questions or if you have any ideas that we should bring to the stage. Please type it into the. I guess there must be a chat window, and my friends back there are going to read it to me then, I guess. Okay, so please let us know your questions if you have some, or your ideas. Second round, I want you to do some one-on-ones, some sort of speed dating. And you have two goals. One, you think of two ideas how you can enhance the other one's competence or idea. What can you bring to the table so that one idea gets double as big? So we are going to, every one of you is going to talk to everyone for 2 minutes, starting now. Look for a partner. You can move around in the room. Get up. Talk to each other. 2 minutes. And then you're gonna switch your partner.
Because people don't know that water in the Alps is skipping cars and everything. So I think social media could help in that kind of regard, or how to can trust or they need to change kind of a bit of the behavior of how to use toilets, how to use showers, and how to use them. So this is what I do to enhance kind of how to improve that. What do you think?
No, it's important because like we young people like see on the media that like in other countries far away there's a problem to watch, but like we don't think about
So
ourselves.
finish your sentence and switch partner.
No, we
just started.
We haven't started yet.
Ideas on your mind.
So before, asking us what we can do.
No, it's speed dating. We only have 2 minutes.
Because from this technology can like
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next one.
what do we do?
I already did here.
I already did here. Do another one.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. What?
Okay, we are expanding our data space right now, so from 1 floor to 2.
What kind of technology?
Okay, so I'm not the right person to answer that because I'm the project manager side and all.
And we are interested in facilitating all these
because there's no
Yeah,
we don't have one time a year they're getting that. How we can do it, like the idea was kind of how
Please finish your sentence.
how can we create like a digital water keeps changing that we can get
Another 10 seconds. You won now.
strategies, what are the
2 minutes are really
and
like I'm afraid
now it's also
technological.
younger people. How do you get involved?
Next topic.
We can do it. Okay. Sit here. Yes.
I really like your.
Yeah,
The thing is really similar because the only problem what we have is I can tell you. All the technologies is not useless if you don't have the
Yeah, exactly.
And in the agriculture they have already this, they have sensors for
exactly.
but in the water that was a lower one is one of the possibilities what we are IoT because we don't want to kind of having a transmitter so that you're only changing kind of, the cellars or something like that. But this is kind of the next one. This is like the next area.
Yeah, we also like add different situation, because in our water management varies because we are river, we have our basin, and also the consortia are some are interested, not, so it's like
what do you want?
we took a sensor measurement, and you can do that in a home. So
yeah, you can do it, maybe, but you have to prepare a lot. Because there you can just place it and it doesn't matter. There you have to just wait
that's consent, because you're installing something in my house, in my property, and that's the same the consortia, but on a larger level. I mean, really difficult.
Okay, so let's do that. Okay. I'm using
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, I really was interested in your question right at the end because I was feeling that I'm 27, so I don't know what I'm doing here. Like topic management project and stuff. So and I started working for AI. I find there's
Lienz-AG ist leider dann ausgeschieden,
in Italian, I'm sorry.
aber wir haben jetzt neue Partner quasi.
Yeah, so that's a big part I want to
mit einem Partner, der das in Ulm gemacht hat, dann auch das in Liechtenstein, deswegen wollen wir mit dem neuen Projekt jetzt in die Entwicklung, wo man dann wirklich die Daten verknüpfen.
Another 20 seconds.
Na, wir haben jetzt ein bisschen Regierung, was wir jetzt haben, wir nur ein
Please finish your sentences.
das heißt, wir können jetzt quasi, wir haben jetzt verschiedene, genau, wir haben was hinten draußen, wir können jetzt quasi jedes, wir können jetzt geografisch, so jetzt einmal durch Stadt 1, B, C, und wir können jetzt zum Beispiel eine Detection machen. Wir machen quasi
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Und aus. Aus.
Das ist etwas, wie man genau mit Bilder und auch mit Daten,
Aus.
wie können wir jetzt diesen Dataspace
Aus.
weiterentwickeln. Aber wir haben die Technologie, wie man
Okay. So we have 6 o'clock sharp. Okay. What we are going to do now is what we all are going to do now is all of us. Huh? Noch eine Runde? Das gibt's ja nicht. 1, 2, 3 copies. 4 rounds. Okay. Go for it. No one's listening to me anyhow.
One of the goals we have is working with the local public authorities because they are competencies. So we have already.
Right before that meeting, I had this contact with Lienz, who are actually distributing for that area. They are really interested in that project.
I think that we can, because we are working with all the Piedmont region, with the local authorities, we interviewed more than 100 small public authorities.
So,
Let's say, set up
please finish your sentences.
identify local communities.
Let's go to round 3 because we're running out of time a little bit. There was some freaky keynote speaker before who spoke much longer than it was planned. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I can see there are lots and lots of ideas. Please, do not forget about your ideas. What we are trying now is the so-called fishbowl mode, to integrate our audience a little bit. So one of you starts saying the best ideas that you just got when discussing with each other or with listening to the presentations of your peers. And then you hand over the word to someone sitting in the audience. Someone sitting in the audience is coming to the stage, giving the ball to someone else, telling about ideas or about what you would love to see on top in this idea, and so on. and you hand over the ball to somebody else. So who wants to start? Who's got the greatest idea from the discussion? Okay, Fritz, thank you for volunteering.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking about, when I heard those presentations and now those very, very, very short discussions, we should talk about water data space in the whole OSALP region, including federated learning exchange systems, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We should talk about technical layers, also about organizational layers. How do we exchange best cases and worst cases also, and also how we could learn from each other, and also including the youth, because we're building it for them.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you want to address in the audience?
Who is eager to talk?
Thank you very much, because I will take the opportunity to say that this kind of goal, so to scale it at the USALP level, I think it's one of the key messages that is brought by today's work. So I think it's a very key point to scale and to have the trusted system at the USALP level. So for the present work, but also for the future generation. So I give back to Robin.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, the discussions were very short, but also very interesting. And for me, it was like very interesting, or also like difficult to like find the way how we as a young generation could participate, but also like how, like for me, especially in the studies, like how could we like bring these new important technologies and stuff like into our studies, because I'm studying into becoming a teacher, and like from friends of my parents who are like already teachers, they tell me like, yeah, in school it's prohibited, like the using ChatGPT, using the stuff, but
no, it's mandatory. Tell them.
Yeah.
Greetings from Sabine. It's mandatory.
I will, but like the students are using it anyway, so we like need to find the ways how to use it in a good way, like to how to implement it in schools, in universities, like to use it in a way. Not like just like to prohibit, I don't know how to say it in English, or the Teppichkern, like to put it away. Mm-hmm. So like just
under
like to implement it in a good way, to use it for the future, for our studies. And
like
I
would have an additional idea, as you young people are always looking for projects and for sense-making projects in school. Maybe you could collaborate with the real-world projects, because as far as I know, they're all are always running out of resources, and they could use some help from passionate people who make something out of it in the studies. So please give the word to the audience. I want to have some critical questions from the audience, because this was too obvious. Data space, water management, data space, federated learning. Let's make it water space, data space. Haha. So okay, the next 5 ideas, please. So what is the audience saying?
Who's eager to speak?
My name is Max Hammer aus Klagenfurt. Water management is the platform for young people for artificial intelligence and digitalization in general. It's my information tool.
Okay, I won't let you go so easy. So we have one great idea: water management, water data space for the Alps region, based on a digital twin. Think about all the other infrastructure that might have the similar stakeholders and that might be easy to add. For example, when I think of sensors, when I think of LoRaWAN sensors, and I think of water management, then I immediately think of smart agriculture and smart tourism and smart city planning, smart energy planning. So
environmental monitoring.
Environmental monitoring, and mobility.
Yeah, I was actually thinking more about something I spoke with Robin, that is how can we let them trust the AI? Because as I said before, our stakeholders don't want it.
Yes. So let me tell you one thing. If we have to be honest with people, when we are talking about trustworthy AI, there is no trustworthy AI, because not even the AI researchers working on neural networks have full explainability on how these models make their decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we are talking about building trust, then we have a technology that is fully biased coming to us, and we have to have the skills to recognize these biases and replace them with our own biases. And therefore we have to know what value system might be so core value that all the regions can agree to, that the public institutions can agree to, that the farmers can agree to, that the tourism people can agree to.
But when you can explain it, this is the best way. How can you give the trust as well? So, for example, if you have explainable AI, so that means kind of that you know what is the, because the ChatGPT is now like a black box. But if you can explain, if you have this data and what is happening, then this is kind of the way how we should actually also kind of on the technical side. Of course, we have to also get the trust.
For me, as a participant of a data-driven business model that is AI supported, for me are only two things important. One thing, what happens to my data?
Yeah.
Second thing, how can I get access to the data of somebody else without stealing it? Because maybe when we share our ideas, my idea gets even bigger. Okay? What does the audience say? I know that you have a smart idea. I can see it in your eyes. Come on. Speak freely.
There are so many ideas and there's so much knowledge, but it's only for like these experts. And I think the most important part about new technology is education. So that should be more, or yeah, that should. Well, thank you.
Give them a wish from your point of view. What should they do? You give courses and educate people, speak to people.
It's my
Do you
life.
think the terminology that we used today was not clear for everyone?
I think you have to have a little bit of knowledge for these conversations, but I think it was very useful.
Test, test. Okay. I have been lately on a conference. There were 150 bloggers there. And then I spoke to this lady and she said, I'm going to build up a new business. And I said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm going to help these researchers and people in science when they go on stage, that they make what they are doing easier understandable for other people. Maybe we invite her because I'm very much into AI, but I had the same feeling as she had, that maybe someone, when we are in our bubble, others do not understand. And I think you are doing such an amazing job. It blew my mind when you were talking about it, and it was so inspiring when you did the speed dating, very speedy. I think that could be something that we make it like more that people understand what you were doing. And I would love to have the chance later on that you tell it to me like to a 7-year-old. That's what I sometimes say to my Tony custom GPT. Thank you.
Yeah, we are all running into this trap on a daily basis. We are talking with our terminology, and we very, very often lose our audience.
And I think that we also have to define all these innovative project, technological project, bearing in mind that we are in the Alps and we have to involve the local community. And as Robin was asking, what the yacht can do, it's not for, in my point of view, not just the yacht, but all the local community, from the yacht to the elderly, because those projects are meant to be useful for the local community. And so we have to find new ways to engage them in our technological project in order for them to feel and to feel the value of all that's being developed.
I saw it on your slides. I guess it was your first deliverable, just to see what is the strategic value of what we are planning. So, and if you found the strategic value of water management NONA, of course we need it, but we have to tell one and the same use case in 25 different storytelling ways. If we have 25 people in the room, people just want to know, was nutzt es mir? Cui bono? What's in it for me? What does that mean for me? And if we can manage to translate one and the same story for everyone's benefiting out of it, and everyone's saying after a 2-minute pitch, I got it, I'm in, then we did a great job on multi-stakeholder management, which we all recognized as being crucial for our projects. One last question from the audience.
I think AI is a very wide field, and only with pilot projects and involve the public in these results. This is, I think, the figure for the future. And when I see you, all things, and the cooperation with Fachhochschulen and universities, and other institutions also, this is the figure. Not only to speak about AI, to give them feedback, what is the positive effect, the Mehrwert of the AI. It's the same. It's not a Krampus. Thank you.
By the way, one of my favorite use cases when I interact with Antifonia, my custom GPT, is I give it different roles. Whenever I think I created a great strategy for someone, a great AI strategy, then I give it back to the custom GPT and I give it different roles. What might this stakeholder want to add to it? What might this one is going to criticize on my project idea? This is a great thinking exercise. One last word from someone of you. Afterwards, I'm going to sit in the panel and I'm going to tell what your ideas were. So if you do not find yourself in what I say, just listen and take some notes.
One thing I can still tell is everything is actually useless if you don't have the data. So we need, that is also a critical point, especially in water management, is how to get good data to make water management. And this is kind of also a crucial part. We are ahead, but we also have to start from the bottom to start really, where do we get it? We get it from us, from as citizens, because it has to be implemented in the households and everything. So this is where it starts. So how we get actually the data, it's really the first step. We are already miles ahead, but if we don't have data, everything is useless what we are doing. So this is just one thing I wanted to...
I just want to say something. Go. First the audience.
Sensors are the help to get data.
Sensors everywhere. Yeah. No light bulb without a sensor.
We have a lot of sensors, you know. Yeah, we are bionics almost. No, I just wanted to, to be provocative with the word explainable AI, because now we are looking for explainability in AI. But do we have explainability in human beings? So why we are looking for explainability in AI when we do not have it for human beings? So when you are having a car accident, are you explaining why? So why you need buy an automotive? To a doctor, selecting a doctor, are you explaining why he is able to understand an MRI or a TSE? No. Why do you need it for an AI system?
It's a
Because
very,
you don't
very
trust
good
machines,
question.
you know?
Yes.
Because you are biased by Terminator, let's say.
So you have the last
I just
word.
wanted to add something for the audience. When you say you don't really get everything we are speaking about, I say we, but I don't really am an expert. So my advice is just ask questions and don't be afraid they will be stupid, because there are no stupid questions, and it's a learning curve, and if you are willing to take it, it's worth it. So just ask questions. That's my input.
Very, very nice. But we cannot ask questions if we don't know that we have a blind spot somehow. So it's communication must always be into two sides, and I'm sure that some of the great case studies that you presented were the public was not aware that there are so interesting case studies. And I would wish that academia and research and practical business models and data spaces, that we communicate a little bit more, building strong human relationships. So thank you very much. We were running out of time. I could continue talking to you the whole evening. Thank you very much for your great ideas. You can continue the speed dating afterwards.
Yeah.
Thanks to the audience.